Good day, this is Denver Fernandez here, and today I'll be discussing the anthology film Aanum Pennum. And this movie is actually a really wonderful movie. This movie was highly polarizing. Like many people said, oh, this movie, it was not so good. And there were others who said that this movie is a masterpiece. So this movie is highly polarizing, but yet after learning certain things about this movie, after going through the experience of the movie, when I think about it, I feel that this movie was actually a masterpiece. So this is actually a full-fledged movie disguising itself as a anthology film. Usually anthology films are bits and pieces of stories and they don't have any connection with each other, but these three stories that are part of this movies are all in a way historically interconnected. Like the first segment of this movie actually happens in the post-independent era, maybe in the 1950s, and the second segment happens during the 1970s or 80s or maybe even 90s, and the third section happens in the present day. So all these three movies are in a way adaptations of important works in literature. For example, the first movie is actually an adaptation of a segment from Mahabharata, when the Pandavas have to live in exile, and they have to disguise themselves so the Kauravas don't find them out. And this is when the famous fight between Kijaga and Bhima happens. And this entire story is set in the 1950s, and this entire story is told from a Marxist point of view. The Marxist revolution in Kerala is talked about using this particular theme. Also, here the emancipation of the woman comes through the political power that she gets from Marxist ideology. And now we'll go to the second segment. The second segment is actually an adaptation of the short story by Urub. This short story has already been adapted as a telefilm that was telecasted in Doordarshan, and that telefilm also captured the story, but this section actually was very good. It used a lot of setting and camera works, close-ups to make this movie great. And the specialty of this movie was Parvati's acting, with the dialogues and the use of a particular accent, which makes this movie uplifting. And in this movie you have the social constraints which restrict women from exploring her passions as a main theme. And also it displays a very shy hero who's not ready to explore, not ready to cross the line of class distinctions, etc. In the third segment, we get to see a very modern story, and this story is actually an adaptation of a short story by Unniyar. In this story, you can find a kind of Adam and Eve myth that's happening. So this is a backward version of the Genesis story from the Bible, and the end part is actually symbolic than real. So many people, when they see the last part of the movie, they may think that will it work in the present day? Can a woman say something like that in the present day, as in the last dialogue of the movie? So many of us would have asked that question, but if you understand, this movie is actually symbolic in many ways. Especially the last part of the movie is actually very, very symbolic. And there is this beautiful scene when Darshana is lying on the grass and she looks at the sky, and nature forms a circle and a bird flies through, and through that bird she experiences some kind of freedom, which the previous women have not enjoyed. If you take this anthology series, you can come up with an idea that all these women are actually the same. Like in India, you have the concept of reincarnation or rebirth. So sometimes the woman who lived in 1950s, and the woman who lived in the 1970s, and the woman who lived in 2020 actually could be the same woman who has taken different avatars. So Aanum Pennum is an excellent movie. Go watch it on Amazon Prime. So I rate this movie as 8.5 out of 10. Thank you.